So tonight's the night, folks. You got to tune in, get out the popcorn. The whole circus is going to be in town as we prepare for the South Carolina primary this weekend on Saturday. And the whole clown car is going to empty out into South Carolina tonight to the stage. And many are saying that Elizabeth Warren and Buttigieg are aiming their arrows at Bernie Sanders. Others are saying that Elizabeth Warren decimated Bloomberg once. She may be coming after him again. And we're going to see, hopefully, some fireworks tonight. But it looks like Joe Biden's on his last legs here if he doesn't get out of it. To break it all down, one of my favorites, conservative commentator, contributor to Metropolitan Magazine, Orange. How are you, buddy?
Well, how about yourself?
I'm doing all righty. So I want you to take a look at this Bernie, a clip of Bernie we've been looking at, and then we want to get into some of the other candidates here, if you don't mind. This is Bernie Sanders is getting some heat here over some Fidel Castro comments lately.
Also had a regime who tortured Catholics, tortured people who worshiped God in a way he didn't like, tortured students that had newspapers, kept people locked up for years, killed people.
All right, that was Morning Joe on another dictator and strongman, Daniel Ortega, the president of Nicaragua. Mm-hmm. And Bernie seems to be throwing all kinds of praise at Fidel Castro, Daniel Ortega. What gives here, man?
Look, if you apparently teach people how to read, it doesn't matter if you're killing them. They're still a good person.
Right.
So apparently that's what, Bernie has a problem. Bernie is a communist. Bernie is a socialist. And Bernie has gone to the Soviet Union. Bernie has a history of praising totalitarians. And he knows that if he walks that back, then he'll be dishonest to who he is.
Yeah,
so he's going to double down.
Yeah,
John, he's going to double down.
He did the double dip already.
He's a good guy because he taught kids how to read.
Yeah,
even though he killed their parents.
Good guy. Literacy program.
Good guy.
Right.
Literacy.
Probably,
what a freaking defense.
If you ask me, it sounds like a lot of communist and socialist countries, they find reasons to put together like these brigades, and they get into everybody's house, and then they hear what's going on, and they say, oh, look, he's not with us. He's with the resistance. So there's other things that go into these learning brigades. But, is that, some people are saying on the left that it's almost Trumpian a little bit, the way Bernie doubled down on it. But what about, in North Carolina there, when Trump said, I think there are probably good people on both sides, you know what I mean?
Yeah, for Charlottesville.
In Charlottesville. Why is Bernie getting? It seems like they're letting him get away with it. Like, hey, you know what? I saw his campaign manager on last night said, hey, the one thing you know is he's being honest and authentic.
He's being honest. I mean, that's the Trump defense. So I guess, Democrats either need to shut up or they need to sit down here because, that was the attack on Trump for the last 4 years is that his authenticity was debasing the presidency, that he was in bed with neo-Nazis and the far right, et cetera, and coming to their defense. Here we have Bernie literally praising the propagandizing of children in Cuba under the guise of literacy, which is, of course, what these dictatorships did. I mean, they taught kids how to read so they could propagandize them, which is literally no different than what Nazi Germany did. And Sanders, being a Jew, should do that. I mean, to praise Cuba is to praise Hitler.
And in this little piece I did on Nicaragua, also, Bernie did a trip there like 40 years ago. And one of the things that, these tapes are leaked also. You'll probably start seeing them. But he was talking about how the problem that they have in Nicaragua is they don't know how to manipulate the media. That's what he says. And do we have that, Chelsea? Do we have SOP 4 over there? If you get it, let me know. But he was saying, here's the problem here. They don't know how to manipulate the media. And they don't, they got to stop letting the media be
report
too
on
free.
reality.
Exactly.
Yeah. Wow.
Like, I don't want free speech, right? And, he talks about how this guy, oh, yeah, we got the clip. Let's take a look at this clip. It's really...
The media, of course, is not allowed to ask sharp questions of the president. That's not allowed. My point to Ortega is they are not getting their message of what they are trying to do out to the American people. And there's just no question about that. And they just don't have that kind of sophistication to understand how to manipulate the media.
So he basically said they don't understand how to manipulate the media,
Yeah.
to give out the fake, do one thing in our country, but tell the Americans another thing.
Look,
crazy.
you want free healthcare, you want free college, you want free preschool, but we don't want free speech. That's Bernie Sanders' platform.
That's the trade.
That's the trade.
Like, yeah, everything's free
Except
speech. And they have like one newspaper right now in Nicaragua, right? They have one. And when the president didn't like some of the stuff they were writing, what did he do? He didn't go shut down their office. What he did was he embargoed their imports for paper and ink. For 1 year, he wouldn't give them the paper and the ink, so the newspaper couldn't print the news because it wasn't the manipulated message.
But to
they were
say,
looking for.
apparently they learn the sophistication to manipulate the media.
From Bernie.
From Bernie.
That's my suggestion.
That's the takeaway. Huh?
But so now there's this other theory out there that Donald Trump is he's using Bernie as a some kind of economic scapegoat. And Fox Business yesterday was pinning the Dow drop on the Nevada caucus results rather than the coronavirus infections. And supposedly, they're saying Fox was saying that the drop yesterday was because people are so scared of Bernie. I don't think that's the case. I think it's corona related.
One Fox anchor said that, Axios picks up a story and tries to make a narrative out of it. Look, people don't want to admit that coronavirus is having an impact on the economy, right? So we're going to take whatever other narrative we can get. That is, Bernie Sanders is spooking the market because he's going to come in and destroy the market economy. If he wins the election, then that will be a narrative that is real. But for now, let's be real. This has to do with the that disruptions from coronavirus. There's likely going to be, supplier and distribution problems for major international, companies, which means that the economy is going to be affected. So, that's the narrative. I don't think Trump is going to go that way. Trump will certainly say that Bernie could have an effect on the markets if he becomes the nominee, where, the American people have to choose between a socialist, communist, a Marxist, and someone who believes that the market ultimately lifts the most people and generates wealth for everyone.
Yeah, I kind of think the opposite of that. I think there may be buying opportunities if the market goes lower on Bernie fears, because it's like, to me, it's setting up perfect for the president. Like, I want a battle, a binary battle. Do you want America? Do you want socialism? Or do you want American capitalism? I want to see that fight. I'm down for that fight. I say America wins every time on that one, because at least 60% of America are happy with our capitalism. We know that. And, I don't know, Gallup says 51 and change percent of people are happy with Trump's economy. And everybody underreports the Trump numbers, so it's probably closer to 60 there. I don't, I think it would be, the ultimate good versus evil.
Well, I certainly think that the right has gotten a little lazy with defending the market. And so I think a battle of ideas where we have to put what the left truly believes in against what the right believes in, that battle of ideas could deliver a defense for the market for the next generation that our young people are not getting now. Most people my age buy into socialism because they hear free and they go, yes, doesn't matter what it is. So if we want a future for the American market economy for the next generation, then this battle has to happen. I just hope that the market economy wins, because frankly, while Trump is in good standing and I believe the economy is, sound, the idea of free things and making other people pay for it has real resonance with most people. They want to screw that other guy and take all his money, and if he can pay for it, then I don't have to. Then I want to vote for the guy who's going to take that guy's money. That's what I'm worried about, and that there has to be a good defense for.
Yeah, they were talking about this huge turnout, other uptick in turnout for Bernie. There's been turnout uptick, mostly in the parishes and the precincts where Buttigieg and Klobuchar have won in the previous, but Bernie's tried and true with his 30-some-odd%, and I just don't think that gets him over the finish line. I think he's the best guy. For me, I'd love to see them debate, first of all. Trump versus Bernie would be primetime television. I like to see the memes
fireworks
after that
Absolutely.
one. But I think when it comes down to it, that middle class, blue collar, working union guy or girl in the Midwest, even if they're a Democrat, they're sitting there saying, do I, really want to get in a breadline? You know what I mean? Like, do I want socialism? Do I want this government? They can't even count the votes in Iowa yet. Do I want them running the whole country's health care plan? I'm not saying they're going to go vote for Trump, but I think they'll stay home. I think it's a win.
I think you're right. I mean, there is no measurable net increase in the base for Sanders. Nevada's an outlier. They have a tiny fraction of people that participate in their caucus system. So we would have to see that he could increase his base. But there's no one new coming out for the Democrats. There's no new minorities or expansion that is occurring. And that is a problem for them.
Yeah, without a doubt.
But John, but on the flip side, his message is not going to be breadlines. His message is going to be
free.
That your child can get free health care, your child can get free college, your child can get free preschool. And that is targeted to suburban women that have peeled off of Trump, and that is what they're going to go for. He's going to go for bread and butter. He's not going to go for the draconian breadlines, even though that's what we know we're going to get.
Yeah.
He's going to sell something and do something totally different.
We do Women Wednesday on Wednesday. We try to highlight the women's point of view. And I think, those suburban moms, maybe they don't love Trump's rhetoric, but they love their kids, they love their families, they love their freedoms. And I think they're smarter than buying into that. That's just my thought. I hope you agree with me. I know we have a lot of women in our audience who are objective and they're open-minded. I get a lot of feedback and comments from folks. I don't see it. I think Trump is doing a heck of a job, and these rallies that he's doing now, he's stepping on their message all the way through. I like to see them all attack Bernie tonight. What do you think? Give me a breakdown on tonight in our final minute, the debate.
I think tonight we're going to see Bloomberg attempt to put himself back together after being destroyed by Elizabeth Warren. I think Warren's going to pull all her punches against Sanders because she wants to be his VP. So we're going to see the remaining candidates, whether it's Klobuchar or Buttigieg, essentially attacking both Sanders and Bloomberg. And I think tonight is going to do nothing to narrow the field. And I really, really believe that it's going to happen after Super Tuesday. Everyone is staying in this because they want leverage. If there is a brokered convention, if Sanders is the nominee, they want delegates, they want positions. This is now about what they can ultimately get come a Sanders or Bloomberg or a Biden presidency. And frankly, this is the opportunity, the one opportunity Biden has left to show that he is still a factor in this race.
Yep, and many people here in New York who are big donor in the donor class are saying if he doesn't win South Carolina, the money train is over.
Then it's over.
Joe. So it may be Bloomy, Bernie, and Buttigieg in the Battle of the Bees. Who knows?
The Battle of the Bees.
And the thing I'm going to be looking for tonight is if Elizabeth Warren lays off of Bernie and lays off of Bloomberg, then you're right. I think she's trying to be his vice president, and they're hoping they could still get some of that Bloomberg money. Really appreciate it. Clinical social worker and disaster mental health professional Jennifer Boer-Cuevas is going to join us next. And let me tell you, boy, do I need a mental health professional in here right now. Take a quick break. Jennifer's going to join us right after this.